What he says is, in your dream, even you have this problem, but in your dream, he says, you feel like, you dream like us.
In 1986, I was climbing Orizaba in Mexico with two buddies. Everything was picture perfect. I was leading the rope team, and about 100 feet from the summit, there was this small lip that I had to climb over. I climbed over the lip, and then I heard Dave yell. Falling. Just as I looked back, he fell, and all three of us slingshotted down this mountain. When I woke up, I was laying face down in the rocks. Jerry was laying right beside me. Dave a further 30 feet down the mountain. Clearly, we were all in bad shape. None of us could stand up. And I remember that night making this deal with Jerry.
He just said, I don't know if we're gonna make it. I remember saying to him, I don't think that we are. And that's okay. We just said, let's just go to sleep. We've had a good run. That's what we did. We just sort of held on to each other. And I woke up the next morning, and he didn't. You plan to kind of move on to another place, with somebody, and you kind of accept death, and then you wake up, and kind of the person you make that deal with does it.
3 days later, I'm alive, Dave is still alive, and we hear these voices. It's the rescuers. And all they have is body bags.
It was tough. It was really, really tough being confronted with, a doctor coming in and telling you that there's no way your arm is going to come back from this paralysis, period. There was a point early on that I knew that the extent of my climbing was not going to be to the same degree, technically, as it was before my accident. But my dream when I was a kid was to go to the Himalayan mountains.
Y'all think y'all can make it without me? I'm gonna be gone a month. You think you can do it? All right.
This week, 14 Texans who have disabilities are taking on Mount Everest.
Most of the people in the group are disabled, but that's not stopping them from reaching new heights.
There it is. Look at that.
All right. Front page. Conquering a mountain of stereotypes.
After the accident, I was kind of going everywhere, but at the same time going nowhere. I was running an adventure travel business. I was traveling a great deal. And in 2001, I attempted to climb Mount Everest, and I didn't make it.
At least 94 people summited Mount Everest this week. Unfortunately, Austin climber Gary Guller was not among them.
In all honesty, I didn't prepare. And in my mind, I just felt like I failed. A couple of months after returning, I received a call to speak at a disability convention.
He really just kind of brought the house down. They were, cheering him on, they're shouting out questions. The one I always remember is the person in the wheelchair said, "Hey, Gary, can you take me up on a mountain like that,
Honestly, looking back, I was probably thinking, there's not a chance.
I kind of laughed a little bit about that. Yeah, Mount Everest, we could somehow do things on Mount Everest.
Nepal is not one of the most accessible, hospitable places for anyone with a disability or not.
Very quickly got to thinking that, well, maybe we can do that.
We've got a team of over 14 people with different degrees of disabilities, and we're going on a 20-day trek to the Himalayas. to become the largest cross-disability expedition ever to reach Mount Everest Base Camp.
Hey, G. Are you alive? Hey, G. You all right?
What a nightmare. Oh my God, help me.
Actually, we're just gonna just send him back. We ain't gonna have any worries at all. See, we got a, with the wheelchair, they're having great difficulty finding the wheelchair to get us around the cabin while the plane is flying.
Like if I had to use the restroom,
Yeah.
I've got a leg bag on,
Yeah.
and I just take a little empty pop bottle, and it's straight into the pop bottle, and have somebody take it and dump it in the restroom.
How about just standing up and getting some blood flow and...
I probably won't stand up on a plane.
Okay. No, you know what. Oh, shall we? Gary, oh my God, Gary, oh, look what he's doing now. Oh, no.
When I was 17 years old, I broke my neck in a fall from a cliff. But somehow I went off the edge of the cliff, 42 feet, 10 inches, broke my neck. Next thing I know, it's 2 weeks later and I'm in the hospital. I was in a rehab center for a year. I got out, spent a few months at home, and then went into college. I think the end of the first year there, I met a friend of mine, and he says, well, spring break, why don't we go down to Florida? And I thought, well, all right, why not? So we did. That was my first road trip after becoming disabled. Since then, I've done a lot of traveling. Went through 49 states, did Canada, Mexico, Central America. Actually, I've been traveled on 7 continents, but it all started in college with some college friends. Sometimes when I have coffee, I have sugar. Sometimes I have cream. I like to live dangerously.
Ready?
On the count of 3. 10, 9.
Here we go.
My brother Robert calls and says, I want to go to Everest with you. I want to go as your attendant. And this is very strange because my brother Robert, I don't think he's ever gone camping a day in his life.
My brother was going. I found out he was going, and I knew there was no way of talking him out of it, frankly. I think the whole thing's insanity, so I thought there might be a good idea for a family connection to be there.
My brother Robert sells computer supplies, but he's a very talented musician. Unfortunately, it's tough for musicians to get a job, so he works selling computer supplies.
One of the very few photos of Gene and I before his accident, and Gene is trying to coax me into coming over, and this photo just reminds me of him calling, saying, hey, take a chance, you might learn something.
With any prosthetic, it would cause problems in airport security just because it'll send off the metal detectors like crazy. So they could obviously see it was a prosthetic, and I'm not carrying any metallic object in my leg. I could tell you that the first time my parents found out about Everest, they weren't too happy about it. They didn't understand why I wanted to do this, needed to do it.
Well, I was a little scared. I was thinking how he's going to sleep in that cold weather and whether he can, but he's young and he wants to do it. I'm really proud of him and happy for him.
I needed a different challenge, something that wouldn't compare with any of the other stuff that I've done, and kind of quit my job for this. I could always find work, I could always find a job to do, but I knew that I needed to be in this team.
Our team will fly halfway around the world to Kathmandu, Nepal. From there, our journey will continue via twin-otter airplanes to Lukla at 9,200 feet. This is where our 21-day trek to Everest Base Camp will begin. We'll be trekking on ancient trading routes still utilized by Nepali, Tibetan, and Indian traders. These trails range in difficulty from hard to nearly impossible. Altitude will be one of our biggest challenges, with our final destination of base camp at 17,500 feet.
Me and my buddy were sitting around, and I went and got the mail and came back with this big package and opened it up and looked at it, and
It's talking about disabled people going to Mount Everest. Like, what's going on? What is this about? I mean, you look at it and you're like, what? Well, I mean, what is this? A group of disabled people? There's no way.
I attached a note to Matt that said, here's an opportunity that I've become aware of, and I think you ought to look at it and consider this.
You can tell he was at a point in his life where he was just doing his everyday thing, just job, you know, sleep, errands, comes home and repeats the process.
You put limits on yourself, and that's what I was doing at the time, and then he opened my eyes just to be open and maybe realize to be open-minded about it. The next day, did decide to fill out the applications and all that kind of stuff, get the ball rolling to be part of the team. When you've got something that's this great, I mean, you've got to jump on it. Well, I don't like people putting limitations on my life. I mean, let me decide what's too much. I don't know. I kind of think everybody's disabled, though, in one way or another. As far as being paralyzed, yes, I'm disabled. As far as doing the things that I want to do, no, I'm not disabled.
Made it.
Everybody come to see, very interesting. Oh, what kind of people? And everybody say, where they go, what they wanna do. I say, my friend Gary, he bring this kind of people. He want to take to Everest Base Camp, wheelchair. They ask, wheelchair, what is the wheelchair? Nobody knows. Oh, that time I'm scared. Well, first day in Kathmandu is like this difficult. How we take to Everest Base Camp?
Turquoise. Oh, no, it's not. It's some kind of ceramic compound.
Just flip your hands and no, you keep walking. Turn away. And don't ever touch anything when they want to show you something. If you touch it, they'll stay on you, though. Yeah, you like sharks. Doggone it. Wait, I had one of these in a Cracker Jack box.
You want to hear something else?
Did anybody answer?
Look, and I don't use the toilet paper. I used the Kleenex when I ran out of toilet paper. Okay, so you won't find any Kleenex in there.
You already used like 10 rolls since we've been here.
Jose, there's only a couple sheets per roll. They're not big on toilet paper out here. I'm telling you, it's not like the in thing.
God help me. Take me now, Lord. Please, please. I can't take it any longer. I need new roommates.
Okay. I'll try it again.
You ready?
Murphy time.
I'm pretty much a morning person. I love to get up in the morning and get dressed, get out, take advantage of the day, take advantage of all the daylight hours. And there's so much to do, particularly in an area like Nepal. So much to do and see. I think it's a crime not to take advantage of that. We'll have time to sleep when we get back to the States. We'll just pull the elbow through. Yep.
I was teaching at Western New Mexico University. I hired Jose to work for me out there. He's a great attendant, real capable, able to do just about anything. And he loves the mountains, so when it came time to go to Everest, I called him up, said, Jose, you want to go? Or, I don't think he'll go to K2 with me, but...
Oh yeah, I'll be there too.
Okay, good deal. After this, you'll decide to leave that job where you're at and do something you really like. You should find something you really enjoy in life. Like, for me, I enjoy traveling, so this is what I do. Find a way to do it.
He was always the adventurous type. I mean, he knows how to live. I know I wouldn't have ever done any kind of traveling to this magnitude if it wasn't for him. I had a nervous breakdown back around 1998. I was terrified to even get up out of the chair. I was extremely paranoid. I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't even answer the phone without freaking out, and eventually ended up on antidepressants and anti-anxiety and anti-schizoid medications. And I told Gino I didn't want to take them for the trip. I wanted to cease all medication, all antidepressants, everything, because I didn't want any of my emotions to be squelched.
And I told him I thought it was a bad idea. It was the worst thing he could do. You know, to be in a foreign country when you're not able to access the medical help you might need.
I told him I was taking my medication, but I wasn't. 20, 1, 2, 4.
How much?
Can I have 40 bucks?
For what? Please. Come on, man, I'll make it up to you. You know I'm good for it.
25% interest.
How much money did you put aside for exit fees and such?
Nothing. Nothing. Look, I'll have some money wired in Western Union for Maddie, okay? You get it back today. You tell me they don't have a Western Union at the hotel?
I'm sure they do.
Okay, good. You have it back today. Come on, give me 40 bucks. Come on, man. Okay? 40 bucks. All right, thanks. Thank you.
He's adjusting to life in a different country, so you need to be patient with Robert.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, nice.
I was originally injured in 1996 in a snow skiing accident. I was, at the time, a cadet at West Point, and I was in my junior year. I broke my back and ended up being a T5 spinal cord injury, which makes me paralyzed from about the chest down.
Riley and I have been married for 4 years. We have known each other since my junior year of high school. When Riley was first approached about a team Everest of 3, he, I know, was very excited. This was something that he would or could not pass up.
I've always been an outdoors type person. I've always enjoyed hiking and climbing. Since I've been injured, I've done outdoors type activities, but nothing to this scale or degree.
He told me about it, and I found it to be kind of shocking and was worried about it, and immediately thought of all the contingencies and all the things that could go wrong and reasons why you shouldn't do it. But ultimately, I felt like I couldn't. I knew I wouldn't actually try to keep him from it, or it just felt like something that he could or should do.
I miss Rachel very much. I really wish she could have come along on the trip with me. I think that Matt and I's similarities, we were roughly the same age, and we had very similar injuries. I think that acted as a bonding type situation.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna liven him up. It's gonna new experiences all around.
Look over the, meet your alter ego.
It's
It's like you've got like the angel on one shoulder, the devil over here. There we go.
I don't know. I'm more embarrassed than
It
anything.
happens to the best of them.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Just fine.
You all right?
Thank you for your help.
Sorry to
put you through that. Here, I'm going to try to go back up myself here.
Yeah?
No, I
Okay.
I'm
Oh, you try to go?
Yeah.
Okay. If not possible, you tell me. Okay? Come on. Why not? No, try again.
I haven't crashed like that in a while.
Do we need to worry more about little scrapes and bruises up there than we would?
I think so. I think what we should do too is kind of make a conscious effort and every day sort of doing like a semi-check. Talking to them, I know that they have sort of a group of medical problems that are specific to the people in the wheelchairs. They're very prone to cutting bumps and bruises and infections on their legs that just because they can't feel their extremities, they don't know it's brewing up there. Also kind of issues with frequent urinary tract infections and bowel problems. So I wanted to sort of address them, those 4 or 5 guys, before we left. As I'll tell anybody else, I mean, even the slightest thing, don't feel free to let me know, because small things could turn into big things at altitude, and I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're just not feeling right and something's not right, let me know at 2 o'clock in the morning rather than waking up at 6 and being in a world of hurt and trying to fix that.
This is one part of any expedition, any trip I have a really hard time talking about because I don't want it to happen to any of us. If there's an accident or you just don't want to go on or it's a health-related issue or the doctor says it's in his opinion that the best thing is to go back to Kathmandu, we evaluate the situation, we take the best course of action, be it strolling up to Lukla, getting on the back of a horse, getting on the back of a yak, getting on the back of Sherpas, and in the very last resort, and usually it's the very last resort, we'll bring a helicopter in. Helicopters don't just fly because somebody just feels a little tired and they don't want to go any further, or you've got a stomach ache, or you miss somebody back home. When we issue the instructions for a helicopter to fly, the whole world kind of changes when it comes to safety. So we take that part very seriously. If we take it easy, we take it slow, we work together as a team, you know, it's going to be a hell of a trip.
Come on!
We're going to Everest!
Yeah! All right. We're on the way.
taking 2 twin-otter airplanes to the mountain airstrip in Lukla, our starting off point for this expedition. The mountain airstrip in Lukla is a short takeoff and landing airstrip. It's only about 1,500 feet in length. So at the end of the runway is the mountain itself. So the plane has to stop.
I got real nervous real fast. I thought, how long is this airstrip? Like 5 feet? It was crazy. And I thought, man, if these guys get us down safely, it'll be a miracle.
In Lukla, my good friend Nimadao Sherpa has already been recruiting porters and assistants from all over Nepal for this expedition.
They are coming to looking job from long way because in the village is no job. That's why they want to go to trekking and expedition job and make money.
एकदम ब्यालेन्स मिलाएर यो यस्तो यसरी कोल्चेन है पालो 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 गरेर मिलाएर हात नगरिकन बिस्तारै लाग है
Here we are in downtown Lukla, elevation 9,200 feet, and I felt the difference in weather immediately. A little bit on the cold side here.
Whoa, about to fall out.
यता बढी उचाल हो यस्तो अलि ब्याक हो यस्तो तरिकाले
So I'm working with Lukla Dorji. And Lukla Dorji was bitten by a cobra when he was a very small boy.
यो बिस्क्याम चाहिँ तिजे रुजी फेट त्यहाँ लोकल नेताङ चाहिँ हाम्रो लेप्ची लोकल जी उमेरलाई कामै छैन काम गर्ने अब हातले हो हिँड्न चाहिँ म खुट्टाले जति जहाँ भने वहाँ पुग्छु काम गर्नु हुँदैन केही व्यापारै छैन.
Let me see. Yeah, very good. Now we're rocking.
He heard the Mount Everest is, but where is he don't know. Maybe he see the pictures, but he never been to before.
Lukla has a friend traveling with him, and his name is Tenzing Sherpa, from the same village. Similar accident, snake bite, amputation. No way. Village.
Lukla didn't speak a lick of English. But obviously we had this common connection. He lost his right arm when he was a kid, and I lost my left arm when I was a kid. And we sort of appear as one coming into the village, a whole one person.
They take pride in doing their work and just doing everything to the best of their ability and working hard. We take pride in pushing ourselves and,
I mean, it's
and doing
like
that kind of thing.
It's like as soon as they see you struggle, they run over there. It's like, oh man, I got it.
Yeah, I know. It's
Nothing wrong with a little struggle.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. I'm thinking about heading into town.
Okay.
You game?
Yeah, I'm game.
Good.
I'm fine down.
Well, show me something. There you go. Very good. Very good.
Are you coming or what?
Yeah, I was gonna let you do your thing, man.
I'm waiting for you.
He's got it. He's got it. He's got it.
Try kilo.
Wide in the middle.
Right. I've got it. I've got it.
Morning ko the KC flag, right?
I got it.
You got it? All right, boss.
The support ko lagi koi ke chalaunu nachalaau ki load छ कि यसो हेर्नु. Take it easy. This is just practice.
Right.
Yeah, very guru load banda nikai पुग्छ.
They gotta make sure you guys take it easy today, though.
Yeah, I know.
This is rest day, not climbing up stair day. You guys are gonna be killing yourselves tomorrow, and you can't. You're huffing and puffing.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I'm not kidding around.
No, I know you are.
Gotta take it easy. I drop it.
Let go.
Catch it.
Let go.
There you go.
Oh, now we don't need that coat, do we?
No, it's hot.
Watch out, the brush burns over.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about the disease too, so watch your scrapes.
Okay. When we were in Kathmandu, the doctor had told us time and time again that you have to drink a lot of water. I don't like drinking water, and I wasn't thirsty at the time, and I had no idea that you had to just drink it just religiously, just nothing but water, just constantly.
When you first arrive, immediately you feel great, but the altitude hasn't caught up with you yet. With Matt and Riley and overexertion very early on, it would be a real shame that their trip back to Kathmandu and back to the U.S. would come early.
I'll get this back to you in a second. I made it! Yeah! No limits. I got it. I got it. Here it is.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. Nice.
I ended up getting dehydrated, so I was just sick. I mean, it's horrible feelings. I was scared when it happened because I'm thinking to myself, this is the first day, and if I can't hack the first day, how am I gonna hack the rest of the trip?
What'd you say?
I said you have yourself one jerry-rigged chair here.
It was the young bucks. It was the 20-year-old males that thought they were invincible.
Altitude is the most serious matter. It'll kill you. It's that simple.
Have you found that contact lens yet, Matt?
Just take care on the trail. There are some points where we're on the edge of the trail. It's going to go down very, very steep. We're going through some places where there has been some landslides in the past. Just take care and go slowly today.
Okay, you ready? 1, okay, 2, 3. We're out of the way. Okay, everyone follow me. The terrain is rugged enough that I will rarely be in my wheelchair. I'll be carried on the back of a Sherpa. They'll put me in a wicker basket called a doko. One Sherpa at a time will carry me on his back in that basket, and after perhaps 15, 20 minutes of carrying me, he'll trade off with another Sherpa. That way we could go through just about any type of terrain. These guys, Sherpa, they're amazing individuals. They can even run with me on their back. It's like no big deal to them.
I had wanted to start off pushing and not be in a doko, but since I felt so bad, I pretty much had to.
This is the system that's used in Nepal. And the idea behind it all is it utilizes the entire length of your spine. It's very efficient when it comes to sort of carrying heavy weight for a long period of time.
My very first experience in the doko was not good at all. I was just so sick, and the bouncing around, just being nauseated, it was bad.
Slowly.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Ictony. Now,
Yeah.
I think we can probably.
Yeah.
I can probably help you push.
I've always been intrigued with the idea of going to Everest, and it's been a dream of mine for about 5 or 6 years. I have spina bifida, which is a disability that one gets at birth, and I have for about 35 years of my life used crutches to get around, and then after a while I decided to use the wheelchair, which I think is much better. It's been a mess. I ordered a wheelchair because I didn't want to bring my everyday chair. I didn't want to damage it. But as soon as I ordered the wheelchair, I looked at it and realized that there were some things wrong. One of the front wheels was very, very shaky.
problem with these wheels is that they'll go this way and then they'll go that way and they'll go this way and you never really know. So with this way, you'll just know. You'll be able to
I
steer.
think better to this and pole. I think I'm going to be straight.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's going to be real difficult, I think, when reality strikes a lot of the members, that it's not a flat paved trail up to base camp. Fortunately, today is one of our easier days as we descend 3 to 5 hours to the small village of Fakbing.
I'm not a physical guy, I'm not into adventure sports, nothing like that. You know, I'm not really qualified for this. So it wasn't long before I realized that I thought I was gonna die. My God, here I am on the first day. What are they gonna have to airlift me home because I can't cut it? You know, what's in store for me tomorrow?
I pushed myself probably close to 6 hours that day, but it required a lot of work on the part of the porters and Sherpa helping me.
Flight is okay, but up and down, too much up and down, very difficult to carry, very difficult to push.
We started out pushing, pulling, carrying with every imaginable contraption to make this thing work with string and rope and line, and we finally got a good little system here to where the porters are changing off after maybe 20 minutes or so.
Very much.
I know it's very difficult to carry these guys, but we have to try to go slowly. Yeah? And there should always be another Sherpa with the basket on the outside, watching the feet and the legs at all times, because these people cannot feel or move anything here. So when the porter sits down, it can't be like this. It gets like break very easy, huh? We're all the same team. Yeah? We're all together. And we're going to have a good day today. On 3. Goodness in, badness out. Yeah? Yeah. All right. Very good. Huh? Okay. All right.
You know that song?
Which one?
100 bottles of beer on the wall? That's a drinking song. Drunk song.
Drunk song?
Drunk song.
Yeah.
When I was 18, I was living in Houston, I had a motorcycle, wrecked it, and became paralyzed from that. Yeah, I was back in 97. Next month will be 6 years. I was in rehab for a couple months, and it started off bad because, I don't know, so messed up in the head, but got over that, and ever since then it's been great. I hadn't let it get me down or anything. I told everybody I want to do as much as I can by myself, and that's like my goal. I don't want to do it like this.
What do you think about it all, Mr. Mark? You know what? It just gets better, man.
That's mind-blowing to think that it's only going to get better.
I started getting involved in this trip probably last year around the springtime, and then I contacted Christine to join us as my interpreter. I'm a middle school teacher. I teach here at Texas School for the Deaf, and I teach history to 6th and 8th graders. My cool factor is at an all-time high with students. They think I'm going on like a secret mission. They're very, very excited. Really, in Florida, I think I was a middle school student. teacher had a writing lesson. I put down, I want to climb Everest on that list. I've been thinking about this for a long time. At first, the trip was for me. It was my personal dream. I'm realizing my personal dream. But now I'm really excited about introducing the whole thing to my students, seeing them get excited. So I'm not trying to convince all my kids that they should climb Everest, but go out, see the world, do what you want to do. Wow.
Our trek today will take us 3 to 5 hours to the small village of Monjo, the gateway to Sagamartha National Park. Even though we'll be entering the park soon, it'll be days before we get our first glimpse of Everest. For now, though, there's no shortage of mountains for us to see.
Got gloves on. Hey, my brake works. I got that.
You got it. See, it's supposed to catch it in his teeth, though.
I've only been in a wheelchair for, it'll be close to 4 years, as a matter of fact, once we get up to Mount Everest. I was injured in a single vehicle rollover accident in April of 1999 in Saudi Arabia at the time with the military. My training right now is primarily doing rugby. My wife and children, since my accident, have really pushed me to get where I am today. Before my accident, I used to hunt and fish. I was stationed in Alaska for 3 years and had the time of my life. I guess I've always been pushing myself, trying to determine how much I can do. I do not want to be pushed. I don't want to be pulled. I don't want to sit on the back of a yak.
"50 years ago, Mount Everest first climbed. Now 50 years, people with wheelchairs going to base camp." This morning, I'm calling a meeting with all the Sherpa and all the porters to discuss what this expedition is truly about. Because there are a few that are causing some ruffling within our team. And these problems need to be addressed very early on in this expedition. We could not succeed without you. Yeah? If money was the problem, we can fix that. If it's you're carrying too much weight, we can fix that. If it's more than you bargained for, we can agree new terms. But if we're going to go through this tomorrow, the day after, at 15,000 feet and 16,000 feet, let's be real clear with each other at this moment that I'm not going to stand for that for a second, because we can't. Let's go ahead and resolve the big issue now, and then we're going to be together as a team. It's an American custom. Put a hand in the middle.
We're all together.
Yeah, all together.
One of my favorite things to do was ride my bike. When I was growing up, just get on my BMX and just ride everywhere. And after the amputation, I didn't really even want to try, but eventually got back into it, and now I'm more athletic and active now than I ever was before. I had my amputation, I guess, when I was 9 years old, and it was due to a tumor in my knee. The doctors gave me an option of saving the knee, but walking with crutches for the rest of my life, or walking with a prosthetic, and I chose to amputate and walk with a prosthetic. Usually a prosthetic is custom made. Every measurement's accounted for, And if you gain or lose 5 pounds or more, the prosthetic isn't going to fit as well. What we came up with is this liner, and if I were to lose weight, I would put another secondary or tertiary liner on top of this one, so it'll fill the socket. In a terrain like Everest, 1 minute you're walking through gravel and the next minute you're walking over 4 or 5 foot boulders. We found a knee joint that when you're standing up, it basically acts like a straight knee and it'll lock. But when I want to sit down, there's a little unlock mechanism in the knee, and you just push a little button, it unlocks the knee, and I'm able to sit down.
The reason it's split right down the middle is because it can kind of mimic the usual movements in a foot, like kind of sideways. It helps a lot with stability, especially in an uneven terrain.
It's not like buying hiking boots or new pair of sneakers, just a slightly more complicated process than that.
I've kind of began my own mantra over here with Philippians. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and I just kind of sing it all the way as I'm going across. On this one, it was so scary, though, I just had to keep telling myself to breathe. I was afraid I was going to pass out from no oxygen because I just couldn't breathe.
I was born with hip dysplasia. I had my hip replaced when I was 4 years old, and I have had arthritis from that for years. I have developed fibromyalgia. I also was recently diagnosed about a year ago as having bipolar disorder. When I was doing my studying on Nepal, I remember one story in particularly in one of the books I was reading that too many Sherpas went with the equipment all at once and the bridge fell and several of the Sherpas fell 200 feet down into the river. After the first couple of bridges, I literally had to sit down. I was shaking, I was trembling, I couldn't breathe. It was like, oh my God, how many more do I have to go? Every corner that you go around, you never know whether it's going to be something terrifying or whether it's going to be something that's going to be absolutely beautiful and calming. As I walked around the corner to that highest bridge, all I could think was, if this bridge did fall, there's no way you could lift me through the fall.
So this is truly a God thing. This is not a vacation I would have picked, and I wondered why God wanted me to come, and my faith has just gotten so much stronger.
They move and they swing. I felt like I was walking my way into and through hell, and you want to not look down, but as you're going across these bridges, you cannot not look down because there might be a plank that is missing somewhere, and you can't just look at the bridge and not see all of the rocks in the river running 200 or 250 feet below you.
Oh, God. It's worth it. It's worth every bit of it.
Today we're headed to Namche, the trading center of the Khumbu region. People come from all over Nepal to trade their goods in Namche Bazaar.
By a US Patriot missile. A convoy of US Marines has also been moving in the direction of Baghdad in a separate thrust from the southern city of Basra. Officials say there's no intention of entering Basra itself.
We arrived in Namche Bazaar, and it was really the first time we had any access to TV or anything, and the TV was on. And Mark's immediate question was, will you interpret it? Will you interpret what's going on the TV and what's going on with the war?
I'll show you.
Oh, what? He needs to talk to you when he has a chance.
Anything serious or no?
Maybe he doesn't know.
Physically or mentally?
Mental, psychological.
Okay.
I think the first night in Lukla, I was getting excited, got out of the airport. That night, there were many issues in my mind. Started just thinking about things. And then the minute I saw the Iraq War on TV here in Namche, when I saw it, everything became so clear to me that I should be home, be with my wife, be close to my family. Not that anyone's asking me to be there. My wife's not asking that for me, nothing, but I feel that way. I expect a lot of people to be disappointed in me. I expect that, yes. I always saw this opportunity of giving students a chance to dream. It's not that everybody should go climb Mount Everest, but go ahead, take advantage of your opportunities. And now I'm going back and I didn't finish the dream, so. But on the other hand, students may realize that you don't get everything you want, or you don't always have time for everything that you thought you were gonna do.
We're gonna miss you.
He's gonna miss you guys too.
Yeah, we loved having you around.
This is really hard on him. He's going to Lukla today. He's walking down now.
We'll miss you, Mark.
Be safe, my friend.
You're like the only one. All the beers on him in Austin.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
We'll take you up on that.
Barry! It's Christine and Mark. Where are you? Mark's leaving and he wants to say goodbye.
Where's he going?
He's going home. Sorry to quit on you guys, but...
No. I have some problems too, and Ted and I have talked about it. It's hard, because...
Oh, believe me, I've been like this all day.
I miss my wife and children. And one of our thoughts was that I go home too, but I'm gonna try and stick it out as long as I can.
I said, no, don't go home.
Oh, I understand, but it's very difficult in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I could never really understand how hard that is for you. I mean, you have balls, I'll be honest. You have balls. Big ones.
Big ones. Big cojones.
Big cojones.
Thanks.
I consider myself extremely fortunate to be with this group. Doesn't matter how short. I had an opportunity to join these people. This is a huge, big deal, so keep going. Forget about me.
Keep on doing what you set out to do. You're really heroes in my book now.
From an expedition leader's point of view, it's hard when anybody leaves. Unfortunately, things like this come up, and we have to remain kind of refocused tonight, get the expedition tight, explain the situation to all the team members, and stay focused and continue with our journey. It's tough out here, Nepal is tough. As we've been joking about, it's a long way from Kansas, Toto.
Today we're regrouping as a team. We're going to try to slow all the porters down, all the Sherpa, star by star, slowly, slowly. And we're going to leave Namche Bazaar together as one team. This is very, very important today for the success of this expedition.
Look.
रुनसँगै अर्थ के सुनियो कि अर्थ अर्थ के उतै लैजाऊ ल कहाँ उता 1 2 काम बन्द त्यो ढुङ्गा गरे बन्द फेरि हो फेरि पाङ्रा यसको ठिक छ नि फेरि एउटा फिस सबैले जान सक्दैन के हो त त्यसले उता जाऊ नि त
You okay?
Okay. Fine, good, nice.
All right.
It's gonna be dominoes here in a minute.
Here we go! Team Everest 3, let's go!
Probably never use it again.
I'll retire it and put it in my Everest. I'm not as good as Matt or Riley in picking my nose up. And my footrest will hit a rock and sort of tilt me forward, but nothing's too spooky since I have a belt on to hold me from falling out of my chair.
No push.
I knew it'd be hard, and it's hard. It is worth it.
This is what I'm looking forward to, just this trail. It's beautiful, beautiful.
I'm ready. Bring it.
Go
for it. I'm feeling a whole lot better. I guess just getting back into it and pushing. I feel pretty good. I feel strong.
Let's do it again.
You're not gonna have to worry about it.
What a view.
Yes.
त्यो लगाएर पनि टाइट बनाउनु पर्ने थियो नि खोलौँ न
It'll be a little while for sure if I want to get you up there by the fire. Just gotta move all this stuff up there first. We'll shake hands right now, so you can't reach up there, but I want to get you as fast as possible.
Feels good. You still gotta, things are still not moving.
Yeah, this is, I'll make it tight,
But still, that's good. That's good.
I mean, one day, camp aside, and they come in the dining tent, and they go into.
I think it's perfect. It's perfect.
Thank you.
Nikomai, you've done great.
Thank you.
You're the man. You're the man.
It's okay?
Yes, Nepali Bob Vila. This is the man.
Having fibromyalgia, this is one of the things that goes along with that. Whenever I get an illness, it takes me a lot longer to recoup than it would a person without fibromyalgia.
I had been very ill the whole time that we were in Namche Bazaar. I was very weak. I was dizzy, my sinuses were bothering me. I couldn't keep anything down. And I knew that if I didn't get some rest, that they would be sending me back to Kathmandu.
She's going to stay here today. She's going to try to hydrate. She's going to try to get something to stay on her stomach. I want to leave one Sherpa with her and a porter, and she's going to slowly keep ascending.
I will catch up with y'all.
We're headed up this huge hill to the monastery in Tangboche, the spiritual center of the Khumbu Valley, the soul of the Sherpa people. Tangboche is up on a hill, and it's just sort of this flat, sort of grassy kind of bump, really, and that's where you get a great view of Everest.
Oh, there's Everest. Behind that, see that line of snow?
Yeah.
That's it right there.
To arrive at Tangboche and see Lukla sitting there facing the world's highest mountain, and then sharing that experience with the members as they arrived. It was like they couldn't believe what they were seeing.
When he see the Everest first time, his mind is, oh, this is the Everest.
For Lukla Sherpa, I mean, it was a great honor for him to see something he had only heard about, to see this living goddess. I mean, this person, every day when we got to camp, even if he could not see Everest, he would sit and pray toward Everest. Every time he crossed a bridge, he would throw flowers for a blessing for this expedition. Every time the sun came up, he would pray for this expedition. It's lighting a candle for either a loved one or for a safe trip, a safe expedition, and he probably did it for behalf of the team.
I was just sitting there thinking this afternoon, if I'm cold already, I can imagine when I get to base camp.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be freezing.
Oh, yeah. You're very cool.
And I'm not a cold weather person.
What are you doing here? Do you think we were going to Hawaii?
7.9, 7.8, 7.9, 7.8.
I got it.
One of the guys was behind me, and he started to grab onto my push handles, and I pushed my wheels and started to go back, and he let go, and I flipped completely back and hit my head on a rock.
1, 2, 3.
They were all worried and very apologetic that something might have happened to me. I've got a hard head. At least that's what my wife says.
Oh, that was good.
hoping to get out early so the mud would still be relatively solid. I don't think we were able to find a lot of solid area. It's still just nothing but mud and slush, which makes it especially tough for these guys.
There's really no way to prepare for it, especially the altitude. Once I reached Mount Everest, I started getting just little bitty headaches, you know, just short of breath. The terrain's just almost unforgiving.
Okay. No more falls. What does Vistari mean?
Vistari means slow and slow.
I am going slow. Any slower, I'd be in reverse. Vistari. Okay, I won't surf there.
Being in a basket on their back or anything, it's just a matter of trust. You've got to trust that they know what they're doing, and if they don't, it can be a very bad thing. But I think they're doing pretty well.
You find yourself completely at the will of somebody else to carry you up this hill, and all that you can think of the entire time is, what if he slips? What if he drops me?
My porter was carrying my chair, and he was going up we were going up one of the cliffs, and the strap broke. But luckily it was the one for my chair, and it wasn't the one that wasn't my strap.
And at one point, the porter who was carrying me, he decided he needed to take a rest. He turned around and he placed me down on a rock, at which point I was sliding out of the basket, just slightly, enough that I could see that I was sitting on a rock right at the edge of a precipice or a cliff of a very long distance to the bottom. In order to adjust the weight on his back or get out of it, he kind of lifted up and it sort of tilted me just a little bit. And I have to admit, I felt my heart jump. I thought it might be all over pretty soon.
No fear here. I won't say that.
This is my my best patient so far. He has disregarded all my advice, and we have come to this.
Are you finished? Are you finished?
I'm not finished, Paley. I got plenty of energy.
All right.
I just got a little cramp in the old colon. I'm about to punish the colon for crimes against humanity. Everything's gonna be fine. Nobody counts me out of this trip, understand? I'm not getting airlifted out. I'm gonna make this deal, okay? Don't even think.
Put you out the pasture.
Don't put me out to pasture, baby. If the leaders of the expedition and the doctor feel you're too much at risk to do this, that's it, you're out of here, man. You'd be put on an airplane and sent back home, and that's my biggest fear. So maybe I got a cramp every now and then. Maybe I gotta lay down here. It's no big deal, okay?
I didn't say it was a big deal.
I don't want you to even get the thought in your mind that Robert isn't gonna make it, because I'm making it. I'm doing this deal. Mentally and physically, I'm where I need to be, except for this satanic colon, okay?
You're doing great.
Okay. That'd be the worst thing that could happen. I decided the only way I could handle this deal was by playing mind games. And I pretended that I was out-of-body experience and I was on a journey to the other side, or perhaps my life had already passed and I was passing through the corridor to the next life.
मेरो अनि त्यो अनि फेरि बुढो अनि फेरि विलचेयरमा बसेर त्यो साँगामा फोटो खिच्ने भन्दैछ अनि
Barry! Barry, you better not go across first.
Haven't got enough coverage yet, Matt?
No, I haven't got my bridge.
The Sherpa people in Lukla did not think our team would make it to Namche.
What were they saying?
They were saying not possible. The Sherpa in Lukla.
My two friends told me that.
Really? They just were kind of taking bets that we wouldn't make it?
I don't know what they think. Especially this is for the wheelchair.
The wheelchair guys, yeah. Well, we proved them wrong, right?
Boisiest, Irish, await us just over the mountains. Let us rise and be merry. Today is a good day to die. Damn it, I am the leader. Somebody's
gonna be going by yak.
Look, there's Gary Scott. Oh, he's doing a jig in the nude. Put your clothes on, man, or you're crazy. You're catching a death of cold.
Am I crazy?
It's all in the mind, isn't it?
I feel very lucky.
Oh, there'll be no hike back in Lukla for this guy. I ate last night and I got witnesses.
Who?
Yeah, there won't be a hike. Gene and Jose saw me eat. I ate the main meal. The noodles.
Yeah?
The
couple
noodles.
green pills.
And I had hot cocoa.
You had the cocoa?
You don't want
Yeah, I had the cocoa.
And the noodles together?
Yeah, together.
Oh my God, you're gonna explode today.
Oh, good God. What have I done?
Namaste. 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 Simje ne pa chini pa nyutu nele tarju chi droye ne na maluba tatu juwa me pa sho me na tuda de ba na sama de ju truba ba se do mo sawa sa da bari de da ma de gaga na samu ko de so ba bi ni ma na ya pare are so ha Well,
some has lost hands, some has lost, problem with the leg, or, hearing or speaking something. Don't feel that you are not able to be as like other. Feel like I'm strong, I can do anything, I can do everything what other do. American has got 2 eye, 2 ear. French people has got 2 eye, 2 ear. Nepali has got 2 eye, 2 ear. And even animal has got 2 eye, 2 ear. But soul is same by everybody's. Don't worry, be happy.
Milamle chedole kamba da lakpa me patyongi mare. Milamle kamba da lakpa yo para tyongi rese. Milamle.
What he says is, in your dream, even you have this problem, but in your dream, he says, you feel like, you dream like us.
My mountain to climb wasn't so much a physical mountain as it being more of a spiritual adventure. So I was very satisfied with the effort that I put out and what I got back from it.
Just getting out really and living and doing something to see and experience this world.
Even the Lama says, what you're looking for is not up there. It's right in front of you. And why go searching for it up there? Who knows? And is it that unknown that makes it so powerful? Everything's going good. We've made it to Fairchade, over 4,000 meters. I think everybody is very pleased to be here, for sure.
Nice.
Just already. Wanna go roll around in the snow?
Do
some quad angels.
Wait a minute. It's gonna be a quad.
Me and Riley, we've got, I don't know if you call it a competition, maybe like a friendly competition kind of thing, but we're just doing stuff together, just testing each other's skills out, I guess. I think I'm pushing Riley a little bit. I guess there's in some cases that he's been pushing me, which is good. He's pushed me, I've pushed him, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're in good spirits right now, because we've got each other.
This is the first time since probably I was first injured 7 years ago and in rehab that I've really been around other people in wheelchairs for an extended period of time.
Each one of us have different function. Depending on what that function is, you look at that person and you can gather what they want to do in their life. You get encouragement from those people because of what they do with what function they have left. People will look at Gene and say, well, he's in a dogo the entire time. They're just carrying him up. Well, guess what? That's something Gene has got to do because that's all the function he had. For me, it's I'm going to push myself as much as I can or have the Sherpas help me get as far as I can. For these guys, they've got more function. I look to them and I try and say, Barry, can you ever do what they do? Yeah, I do pretty good. Like when I tilt back, I slap my head on the ground because I forget my tilt bars are on, but I'm trying to act like a paraplegic. I won't say it's a competition. I think it's something we all look at each other and say, we get encouraged by what they do.
I think the attitude that I have with people that don't think that we should have done the trek because of our disabilities, and maybe they thought we were carried too much. You just don't quite understand quadriplegia or paraplegia, and you don't understand the will of people. Their will is probably as strong as mine. I just do it in a different way, in a wheelchair or on the back of somebody. They get to walk. Boy, I wish I could.
Show me the way. Show me the easy way. For this old fart quad. Whoa.
Robert, we need you to tell us about what happened to Gene and how he was injured.
Oh, I know you. You I don't know, but you, I never forget a face. You're Gene. You're my brother, Gene. You're my brother, Gene. My brother, Gene, yeah. So here we were, June 1972. I was in 4th grade, Stroud Elementary School, Parma Heights, Ohio. And in the afternoon, I heard that my brother was injured. Apparently, he had gone on some sort of a school picnic or school get-together. Was it with the thespian club or? Mostly thespian club? Okay, all right. Learn well your part. They're all honor lies. I remember the thespian motto. I think I was called home early from school. I was told he had an accident at Whips Ledges. And to me, it didn't, I'm just a dumb kid. You know, I didn't know what exactly that meant. But when I went in there to see him in the hospital for the first time, he was in one of those beds that had a big wheel constructed around it so it could rotate. What are those called? Circle electric bed. Exactly. Can't pronounce it. Let you do it. Okay. And there were holes drilled in the side of his head, man, for traction. And I didn't know what to make of it. You know, it was quite a shocker. I think maybe I cried a bit at first. I just assumed he was going to get better. I mean, we all assumed he was going to get better. Unfortunately, once the nerves were damaged, there was just nothing anyone could do. I don't think I ever really got used to the idea that he's been injured, ever. You know, until we took our first trip together, and we got used to thinking and doing as one plate, 2 mouths, 1 fork, 1 cup, 1 straw, 2 mouths. But now here we are, me and my brother, Gene. I love you, man. I love you. You're my brother. My brother. So there you have it. Christmas at the Rogers house. Christmas at the Rogers house.
Okay, this is the latest as of the 27th. You guys made the front page of Dallas Morning News again. Yay! Yay! Hi, I'm a BK amputee. Oh, it's BK amputee. I am a BK amputee living up north, Dallas, and wanted to offer you words of encouragement. I can barely imagine the mental challenge you are experiencing. When the going is toughest, please remember that there are thousands of challenged like us who regret not being there physically. Be assured that we are with you in spirit. People are talking about what is happening on top of the world. Just want to let you guys know that you are my heroes. You all rock. Nothing else needs to be said. Again, guys, congrats and good luck.
Good for the X-rated stuff, eh?
Did you know that 6 weeks we spent together in northern New Mexico was some of the wildest of my life? I dream of you, I think of you, and I can't wait until you return to do what you did to me there in the mountains.
Yak Yeti Yak.
It's very important in Farache for a few reasons. As we climb higher, if anyone gets sick, we can quickly get them back down to this hospital. And if need be, they can go into the decompression chamber, or we get them a helicopter.
Okay, we're going to talk about one of the two serious complications of acute mountain sickness if people go too high, too fast, and continue right on going, and that's high altitude cerebral edema. When you come up to altitude a little bit too fast, there's a little bit of damage to the blood vessels. They may become leaky. And if they leak fluid and fluid goes into the brain cannot swell because it's inside a closed box called your skull. And the first symptom that most people will notice when that happens is that they have a mild headache. But if you don't pay attention to that and continue to ascend, more damage occurs to those blood vessels in your head and the pressure in your brain gets higher. And then you may, because of the increased pressure in your brain, develop nausea. That may go on to develop vomiting. You may become unsteady on the trail. As the unsteadiness increases, they may become exceptionally fatigued. Then they may actually lapse into an early degree of unconsciousness, and then as the pressure gets much too high, into complete coma. And of course, the next stage after that would be death.
Speak to Kim. Okay. Hey, Kim. Gary here. Over.
Hey, Gary.
You sound good. How are you? Over.
I'm a little whooped, but other than that, I'm just fine, I think.
Where are you right now? Over. Are you near the bridge? Over. That's great. We'll see you in about 10 minutes then. Over.
How's it going?
It's going.
This is you. Ah, you made it, eh?
I told you I'd make it.
Very close, yes. I was just saying that I'd never had that feeling that you were not coming. That you get when people go back. I never ever had it. You look well. You all right?
I have felt better, but I feel well for what I've been
Your
through
head's
today.
okay?
I think so.
Oh, good. There's a lot of people who are going to be really happy to see.
I'm really happy to see them too.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome over here.
I got you. Let's go. Bastati, everybody. Bastati.
What are you smiling about today, Azul?
Man, I think I'm in for a ride.
Here we go.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
La Pampu. La Tosu. Yes.
Because the boys in the hood are always hard. Hey, out of breath.
Yeah, we tough.
Yeah.
No singing at this elevation.
Yeah, you can't sing at this elevation.
About a couple of hours, I guess, up the mountain from Farache. It's an area where there's a lot of Jordans, a lot of memorials to a lot of climbers, a lot of Sherpas that have paid a pretty heavy price in the mountains. Some have died trekking, some have died climbing Everest, Lhotse, other mountains. And it's always a very emotional place to hike through. Because what happens is that what you're about to put yourself into, or the risk that you're taking on, are very real risks.
I have to take breaks every 20 to 50 feet. Well, more like 20. Just because you just run out of juice pretty quickly up here.
I would say about 80 to 90% of the trek was just uphill and downhill, uphill and downhill. Sometimes you have to climb up, 2 feet onto this one rock and then walk a little and then step down from that same rock. So it's tough going uphill, but you could kill yourself going downhill.
I'll never complain about the rocks. Swear to God. Too many rocks. Ice? Oh my gosh. It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
It's my first time to ever attempt something like this, and I knew that I had to take it easy. I had to take it step by step, so I gave myself enough time to make it all the way up. And as far as my position, I could tell you that I was the last person to come in every freaking day. As long as I made it and as long as I did it on my own, it was all about me making it to base camp, not me coming in first.
Just keep walking, man. Your tent's set up. Just jump on in there, sleep. There you go. There you go. Great job.
The team is starting to arrive into Gorek Shep, our last stop before base camp.
Dr. McCoy, we've got a man down. Dr. McCoy, we've got a man down. Where's the doctor?
Robert just came and got me maybe at like midnight last night and said that Gene was not feeling all that well.
At some point in the night, Gene started making these horrible sounds. It was as though someone took a tire pump to his abdomen and had inflated it. I mean, it was like swelling it hugely. And I didn't know what was going on, and he was starting to lose blood through his nose, and he was starting to cough up blood. I freaked out, and I ran outside to get the doctor.
You know, he's had what's called small bowel obstruction before, where your bowels can actually kind of rotate on themselves and get kinked. The problem lies when you get strangulated. When it twists completely on itself, it loses its blood supply, and it's like having a heart attack in your intestines.
I didn't know that he was going to make it through the night. I thought there's a very good chance he might not. And so I thought, well, I'm glad I'm here, and I can help him to die. You know, I can be there with him when he dies, and know that he's at Mount Everest while he's going. Giannis, he looked at my brother and he said, "You realize we're gonna need to get you out of here. We're gonna have to evacuate." And Gene said, "Yes, I understand that." And then the doctor looked at him and he said, "Are you at peace with that?" Could he handle the idea that, you know, we were 300 feet altitude from base camp and needed to turn around? And Gene said, "Yeah, I'm okay with that."
What do you want to do?
Gene, do you want a blanket?
Gene, you want a sleeping bag or a blanket over your abdomen? He needs to get his.
Yeah, you're right. His belly's exposed.
His belly is exposed.
He's got BE, belly exposure.
Gene, are you ready?
Hi, buddy. Let's see what's in us, huh? Sounds great, Gary.
You're running into trouble up there.
I'll call you back. All right, man.
Johnny ho!
Johnny ho,
Okay.
starting.
All in all, 17,000 feet. I mean, he's gone higher than any quadriplegic that I know of. You know, highly successful mission. And it was good to get to know him again after all these years. Been 9 years. It took me a while to get to know him again. And very proud of him. Very proud of him.
You know, things can go wrong just about any time. And when you're so close to the final prize, it's particularly tough. But the important thing is making the effort to go out there and follow your dreams. And it's been some of the most exciting almost 4 weeks of my life. So I wouldn't hesitate to do this again in a heartbeat. Keep on trucking, everybody. I was glad to have Robert along with me on this adventure, and I know that he really wanted to make it to base camp, but the circumstances required that Robert had to come with me. I'm hoping it'll encourage Robert to step out of his comfort zone and try some other things like either looking for another job or making new inroads in the music industry, or just doing something different and exciting.
They're willing to go with the rest of the member wherever they go, but they can't go because of the altitude problem. They will dream sometime, and when they dream like this area, then they feel happy for a few days, because wherever you go, it comes in dream.
We're staying here today, yeah? We're gonna leave tomorrow morning from here. The window's not big enough for us to get to base camp before it gets too windy and too cold. So we take the risk and go into base camp now and arrive there at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, and the clouds come in halfway through, get into base. It's gonna be bloody cold. And especially with this terrain, it's even more difficult for the porters to carry the gear. So if they even run a bit behind, it'd just be cold to be sitting out waiting for things to arrive, yeah? So we're going tomorrow regardless, to a point, of course. If you want to come back here at 2 o'clock, you want to play some music, dance, have some fun, yeah? Make the most of it, hang about, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool?
I know we're all cold, I know we're all tired, but I just want everybody to go to bed tonight just realizing what we're going to accomplish tomorrow. Truly, 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 truly a historic event. And instead of thinking about your freezing toes, let's be positive and think about the amazing, amazing things that we're going to do tomorrow. This is what we came here to do. Tomorrow's the day.
All right, Ming, I won't move anymore, I promise.
It's definitely more dangerous from Guller to Everest Base Camp. I mean, there's a couple of sharp, steep descents. There is some avalanche danger. The glacier's moving, it's alive. You can feel it up under you, and it's melting.
We made it!
We made it! We did it!
Congrats, buddy. Way to go.
What up, boy? Huh?
Hey.
That's beyond words, huh? To be sitting here. These people are just amazing.
Y'all look at this view. Look at this view. Oh my God. Mountains are hotties.
Dinesh! Dinesh!
Finally here.
I know.
Today we're having a puja. The Lama has come to perform this ceremony for all of the team, and especially the hardworking Sherpa people.
Sherpa! 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 Yes, Santa Tiriri. Ooh, ada donkey. Ooh, ada bonso. Yes, Sampiri. Tiksa. Tiksa. Yeah.
Most people that actually make it to Everest Base Camp only stay for about 30 minutes. Our team was planning to stay for 3 days.
Nimidal came to my tent last night and he said to me, let's all go ice climbing in the morning. And I said, ice climb? He said, yes, Mr. Gary, ice climb at the foot of the ice fall.
Try. Everybody go there and they will try. 1, 3, hey!
There you go, Bear.
Thanks, Nimidal. Thanks.
The ice climbing was very hard. And I about wanted to give up, but I wasn't gonna give up just because that's my nature nowadays. I figured I'd zoom right up it. And I started climbing. I got to like where it was kind of steep and it started getting real hard and the rope was getting in my way. And I was struggling with it the whole time. It's okay. It's okay. But this guy over here, he just kept on going. I was, dang, man.
Way to go.
Regardless of the amount of help you had on your legs, you still freaking made it up there. I mean, the fact that your arms were hurting and tired.
What a motivator, man.
No,
what
I'm
a
serious.
motivator.
But I'm serious. The fact that your arms are hard and tired shows that you were freaking working. It shows that you were working hard.
I appreciate it, bro.
Whoa.
I appreciate it, man.
But it's true.
What a guy. What a guy. I did it then. Yes, I did it. I'm not disappointed anymore. I did it.
We both did it.
Everybody did it.
Yeah, everybody did.
Everybody did it.
Yes.
1, 2, 3,
cannot do anything without the Himalayan porters. And I think it's time now to have a big applause for the porters that have been with us throughout. Danger. He's young and he's strong and he is danger. He scares me more than anybody.
And he carried me.